Imagine a place where you could embark on a journey starting at one point and travel over 1,800 miles westward, yet remain sheltered beneath an immense green canopy. This remarkable destination serves as a sanctuary for an astonishing array of life, harboring approximately 10% of all species on our planet. Historically, it has been viewed as a wild, pristine paradise, untouched by human hands. Think of it as a window into how the world might have looked before we spread across every continent like wildfire, leaving chaos in our wake. I'm referring to the Amazon region. This vast jungle is not just a natural wonder. It conceals some truly fascinating secrets. For centuries, tales of lost cities deep within its depths have captivated imaginations. Take El Dorado, for instance, the fabled city of gold that drove Spanish explorers into the unknown, only for many to vanish without a trace. Even in the 20th century, intrepid adventurer Percy Fawcett set out in search of the legendary city of Z, disappearing into the jungle and leaving us all in suspense. Surprisingly, scientists have unearthed evidence revealing that ancient cities did indeed thrive in the Amazon. But how did they manage to locate these hidden ruins in such a dense and remote forest? The answer lies in cutting-edge technology known as LiDAR. Picture this: researchers boarding a helicopter, employing light-based remote sensing to digitally peel back the canopy and unveil the remnants of a sprawling urban settlement near Llanos de Amo in the Bolivian Amazon. This area was once the heart of the Khazarabi culture, which flourished between 500 and 1400 CE. They constructed remarkable urban centers complete with impressive platforms and pyramid structures. Moreover, they developed raised causeways that interconnected various suburban settlements spread across vast expanses of land. These ancient inhabitants were remarkably advanced for their time, boasting a sophisticated water control and distribution system featuring reservoirs and canals. Contrary to the belief that the Amazon rainforest was merely a wild frontier, it was, in fact, densely populated and even urbanized for centuries before recorded history began. Yet, many have overlooked the existence of these impressive architectural sites, which truly merit exploration. Experts predict that within the next 10 to 20 years, we will uncover a multitude of these cities, with some potentially surpassing those we've already discovered. Michael Heckenberger, an anthropologist from the University of Florida, notes that similar settlement features, such as moats and causeways, have been identified in other regions of ancient Amazonia. Recent research reveals a mind-boggling truth. The previous examples of urbanism in the Amazon were more akin to clusters of villages linked together, rather than what we might classify as urban. These earlier settlements lacked the grand centers and architectural marvels we typically associate with urbanism. However, Llanos de Amos has proven to be an exception, showcasing a true urbanized landscape within the Amazon. In the Llanos region, numerous ancient settlements have been discovered, home to the Khazarabi people who engaged in hunting, fishing, and farming maize. We're talking about hundreds of sites scattered across an astonishing 1,700 square miles. Yet, these sites remained so concealed within the tropical forest that locating them felt like searching for a needle in a haystack. Nevertheless, a dedicated team of archaeologists refused to be deterred. They opted to take to the skies, employing advanced LiDAR mapping technology. Imagine an aircraft soaring high above, emitting infrared beams that strike the ground and bounce back, providing crucial data about the distance to various objects. This innovative process creates a highly detailed map from above. Through the use of sophisticated computer software, these brilliant scientists were able to strip away the trees from the images, revealing the Earth's surface and the ancient archaeological treasures hidden beneath. And what did they uncover? An astonishing 26 unique sites, including 11 that had never been documented before. Among these 26 intriguing sites are Landivar and Katoka, which serve as significant urban centers. Interestingly, while we were aware of their existence, the new maps revealed that they span 1.5 square miles and 1.25 square miles, respectively. encircled by moats and rampart fortifications reminiscent of medieval castles. These centers are home to a variety of extraordinary features: artificial terraces, massive earthen platform buildings, and pyramids soaring over 70 feet in height. Remarkably, all these monumental structures align with the north-northwest, suggesting a cosmic connection that echoes through other ancient sites in the Amazon as well. Now, let's take a moment to soar above and strip away those pesky trees to reveal the hidden wonders of this incredible landscape. The enigmatic Amazon, unraveling its lost cities. Have you ever pondered how ancient civilizations connected with the cosmos? This cosmic perspective is echoed in various ancient sites throughout the Amazon. Now, let's take a step back and remove the dense canopy of trees obscuring our view. What we reveal are two remarkable centers, linked by an intricate network of settlements radiating outwards like the spokes of a wheel. Imagine causeways extending for miles, while canals meander from these hubs to intertwine with rivers and Laguna San Jose, resembling a sophisticated water delivery system. These ancient inhabitants dramatically transformed the landscape, all inspired by their unique cosmology. However, there's a catch. Their stunning architecture was crafted from mud bricks. While it may have been awe-inspiring in its time, it lacked the durability of limestone structures favored by the Maya. The fate of the Khazarabi and their settlements remains an enduring mystery. Based on archaeological dating, it appears they vanished around 1400 CE, well before European explorers ventured into the Amazon. One prevailing theory suggests that a catastrophic drought struck the region, wreaking havoc on their way of life. Interestingly, researchers have unearthed substantial water reservoirs at various sites, which raises questions given the Amazon's reputation for heavy rainfall. Were these reservoirs intended for drinking water or perhaps for farming fish and turtles? It's worth noting that severe droughts have occurred in the past, and just a few poor harvests could have compelled an entire community to relocate. Now here's a twist. These communities flourished in the very area where the adventurer Percy Fawcett disappeared while on a quest for the fabled city of Z. Perhaps he was onto something significant after all. Fawcett came across a fascinating document known as Manuscript 512 at Brazil's National Library, believed to have been penned by a Portuguese explorer. This document recounts how, in 1753, a group of explorers stumbled upon the remnants of an ancient city with arches, a statue, and even a temple adorned with hieroglyphs. Yet, it tantalizingly withheld the city's location. Excited by this discovery, Fawcett made it his secondary mission to find the city, following his primary goal of uncovering the elusive Z. After a brief return to Britain for some errands, he decided to embark on another expedition in 1920 to locate the city, but it proved fruitless. Tragically, 5 years later, Fawcett, along with his son Jack and their companion Raleigh Rimmel, vanished in the Magrosso jungle. Some researchers speculate that Fawcett may have been influenced by indigenous accounts of a site called Kohiku. This very site was later discovered by Westerners in 1925 and revealed the ruins of 20 towns and villages, potentially home to as many as 50,000 people. Astonishingly, the discovery of additional earthworks in southern Amazonia lends credence to Fawcett's theories. In 2005, an American journalist penned an article spotlighting Fawcett's extraordinary expeditions, dubbing it the Lost City of Z. Catchy, right? This article later evolved into a book in 2009, and in 2016, acclaimed writer-director James Gray adapted it into a film. But here's where the narrative takes a somber turn. The Amazon region is undergoing rapid transformation. Agriculture, ranching, and energy production are reshaping this remarkable landscape. Those pristine areas housing ancient relics won't remain untouched for long. We find ourselves in a race against time to document and preserve what remains of our past before it slips away forever. Now, how about a journey back in time? We're diving deep into the history of the Amazon rainforest to uncover the enigma of its lost cities. Buckle up and grab your bug spray. The Amazon is the largest rainforest on the planet, and its environment presents daunting challenges for human existence. Yet, legends speak of vast settlements teeming with immeasurable wealth. Could this really be the case? Or is it merely a figment of our imagination? The legend of El Dorado might have ignited this entire quest. When European explorers began their expeditions in the Americas during the 1500s, tales circulated about an Amazonian civilization that adorned their leader in gold as an offering to divine powers. The saga of El Hombre Dorado, or the Golden Man, quickly captivated audiences across Europe. Explorers were electrified by the prospect of unearthing boundless riches hidden deep within the Latin American jungle, leading to a surge of expeditions year after year. It didn't take long for explorers to encounter this civilization. Known as the Muisca people, they were situated in Colombia, near Lake Guatavita. The story of a hidden treasure began to unfold as the years passed, capturing the imagination of countless adventurers and explorers. Before long, intrepid explorers stumbled upon a remarkable civilization known as the Muisca people, nestled in the lush landscapes of Colombia near Lake Guatavita. This intriguing society had a unique tradition of adorning their leader, referred to as the Zipa, in gold from head to toe. In an elaborate ceremony, the Zipa would immerse himself in the river, scattering gold dust across the lake's surface. For the Muisca, this ritual was their heartfelt tribute to the divine forces of the universe that they revered. When European explorers witnessed this captivating practice, they were left in awe. To them, gold was primarily a commodity, the lifeblood of trade. This led them to speculate that the Muisca people must possess immense, hidden reserves of gold within the jungle, which they used so extravagantly. And so, the legend of El Dorado was born. What began as the tale of a simple custom transformed through word of mouth into the mythical city of El Dorado, a fabled place rumored to harbor mountains of gold. The relentless pursuit of this elusive city prompted European adventurers to invest vast sums of money in their quests through the dense Amazon rainforest. Regrettably, these expeditions often returned without any treasure to show for their efforts. In some cases, they never returned at all. Fast forward to the early 1900s in England. The esteemed Royal Geographic Society was on the lookout for a brave soul to embark on a journey to Latin America, tasked with mapping the border between Brazil and Bolivia, specifically, the parts hidden deep within the Amazon rainforest. Enter Sir Percy Fawcett, a passionate enthusiast of Latin America who eagerly volunteered for the challenge. It's worth noting that the Amazon rainforest is nearly equivalent in size to the continental United States, sprawling across 8 countries, including Brazil, Peru, and Bolivia. Navigating this vast and dense jungle is no small feat. It hosts an array of formidable predators, including anacondas, panthers, crocodiles, and piranhas. Yet, despite the inherent dangers, Fawcett thrived during his mapping expedition and yearned to return for more. Upon his return to England, Fawcett immersed himself in the diaries of fellow explorers, eager to uncover the secrets of ancient Amazonian civilizations. He read about the Incas and the Mayans, magnificent empires that once flourished. Convinced that if the Incas could create an empire spanning over 2 million square miles, other civilizations might have thrived in the Amazon as well. His research led him to a fascinating report from a 16th-century explorer, describing a city concealed deep within the Amazon rainforest that was said to be overflowing with precious minerals. This town, it claimed, stretched for 15 miles without a single gap between its structures. This tantalizing account ignited an obsession within Fawcett, and he became fixated on discovering what he dubbed the Lost City of Z. Over the years, Fawcett scoured the Amazon rainforest, searching for stone ruins that might hint at previous human settlements. On his later expeditions, he concentrated on the central Brazilian state of Mato Grosso. His journey from Europe to the lower reaches of the Xingu River would take about 14 days on foot. From there, he would navigate the waters in small wooden boats, guided by local indigenous leaders who possessed an intimate knowledge of the region. How he managed to communicate with these indigenous populations remains a mystery, given that they spoke only in their local dialects. Some experts speculate that this communication barrier could have been a significant factor in his inability to locate the city. Yet, this was not his only challenge. As previously mentioned, the Amazon is a harsh environment for those unprepared. In his diaries, Fawcett recounted harrowing encounters with a 60-foot-long anaconda, a brush with death that he narrowly survived. He described countless sleepless nights, waking to find his hands and feet swollen from relentless mosquito bites. Many of his peers regarded him as invincible and tireless. However, the day eventually came during his 8th expedition when he mysteriously vanished without a trace. Some believe he was on the brink of reaching his lifelong dream. On the day he disappeared, he sent an optimistic letter to his wife, reassuring her that there was nothing to fear, as he was embarking on what he termed a final search. Fawcett's ill-fated attempts to discover ancient ruins only reinforced the prevailing belief among experts of the time that the Amazon rainforest was too inhospitable to sustain large, complex societies, let alone cities. For a time, the consensus was that the lost cities of the Amazon were mere figments of imagination. That was until the 1960s, when modern research began to unveil evidence that contradicted this long-held belief, igniting new hope in the quest for these hidden treasures. The enigmatic lost cities of the Amazon. Imagine a world where the Amazon rainforest was once bustling with life, home to thriving cities. For a long time, experts dismissed the idea of such lost civilizations as mere fantasy. But everything changed in the 1960s when groundbreaking research began to reveal evidence that challenged this notion. Scientists stumbled upon patches of remarkably fertile soil, which they dubbed Black Earth. To their astonishment, this nutrient-rich soil was abundant throughout the Amazon, particularly alongside its rivers. Further investigations unveiled that this Black Earth was likely produced through human waste or the deliberate burning of forests to enrich the soil. This revelation was a game-changer. It indicated that large-scale agriculture was not only feasible but likely existed in the Amazon, supporting the idea that significant settlements could have thrived there after all. Fast forward to the 1990s. A team of archaeologists from the University of Florida, collaborating with local indigenous communities, made a stunning discovery along the Xingu River in Brazil. They uncovered extensive ditches that, upon being mapped, revealed signs of a substantial settlement. These remnants pointed to meticulously designed walls surrounding a central plaza, with roads leading to additional settlements. Astonishingly, this region of the Amazon, equivalent to the size of New Jersey, was once a network of numerous settlements that experts believe could have housed at least 50,000 people between 1250 and 1650 CE. Advancements in technology further propelled discoveries. Utilizing LiDAR, light detection and ranging imaging, researchers were able to capture satellite images of the forest floor without physically entering it. In Acre, Brazil, an extensive network of trenches dating back to 200,200 CE hinted at settlements capable of supporting 60,000 inhabitants. Other LiDAR images from near the Xingu River suggested cities that could accommodate an astonishing 50 million people. These were indeed the fabled lost cities of the Amazon. You might be surprised to learn that a researcher named Fawcett was perilously close to an incredible breakthrough. He was searching for ruins in the right area but misidentified the materials. Unlike cities like Cusco, which primarily utilized stone in their construction, Amazonian settlements relied on wood and earth. Unfortunately, these materials are prone to decay over time, making them difficult to detect without advanced technology, which Fawcett didn't possess. Now, let's embark on a thought experiment together. Picture yourself scaling the majestic Himalayas, but suddenly you find yourself lost in an isolated valley. You've consumed your food and water supplies, and uncertainty clouds your mind as you contemplate your next move. Just when you feel utterly defeated, you spot a sage-like figure approaching. Overcome by exhaustion, you close your eyes, only to awaken in an entirely different realm. The sage sits beside you, greeting you with, "Welcome, traveler, to the land of immortals." Doesn't that sound like an epic adventure from an Indiana Jones movie? But what if I told you that legends and ancient texts suggest such a place truly exists? Tibetan Indian manuscripts refer to a mystical location known as Ganges, also called Shambhala or Kambala in various cultures. This legendary city is said to be inhabited by immortal beings and serves as a sanctuary of spiritual enlightenment. Take the name Shambhala, for instance. It translates to the source of happiness in Sanskrit. One can only imagine this celestial kingdom adorned with breathtaking beauty, lush gardens and grand structures that inspire awe. According to ancient beliefs, upon entering Ganges, one is greeted by a landscape reminiscent of a lotus flower with 8 petals, embraced by snow-capped mountains. Picture magnificent waterfalls cascading into a pristine lake, its waters boasting remarkable healing properties. This enchanted realm is bathed in a milky white light, not from the sun or moon, but from phosphorescent plants that illuminate the surroundings at the sound of a voice. The gardens are alive with 100 varieties of flowers that bloom year-round, alongside countless trees bearing delicious fruits. Yet one tree stands out, the tree of immortality or the tree of life. Described as a shimmering crystal, it graces the center of Ganges, linking the heavens, earth, and underworld. Its fruits take the form of an abstract Sriyantra, a mystical diagram in Hinduism composed of 9 interlocking triangles. However, a strict rule governs this wondrous place. No one may take these fruits from Ganges without the permission of its inhabitants. This tantalizing glimpse into the lost cities of the Amazon and the mythical realms of Ganges invites us to ponder the mysteries of our world. What other secrets lie hidden in the folds of history, waiting to be uncovered? The enigmatic city of Gangon, a journey into the unknown. Imagine a mystical realm hidden from the eyes of the world. This is the essence of Gangon, a city composed of 9 interlocking triangles. But here's a curious fact. No one is permitted to remove its extraordinary fruits without the consent of its enigmatic inhabitants. So, who are these guardians of this magical place? According to ancient legends, Ganges is home to a multitude of enlightened beings, often referred to as sages. These masters, through their meditative practices, subtly steer the destiny of our world. These eternal entities are untouched by human desires or sorrows. Their mission is to safeguard the spiritual teachings of the universe and work towards the welfare of humanity and all conscious life. It's said that during tumultuous times, the 25th ruler of this mystical city will emerge, guiding the planet toward a brighter future. The sages, as protectors of Gangon, ensure that access to their city is not as simple as one might hope. If you were considering a casual stroll into this extraordinary realm with a map in hand, think again. The exact location of Gangon remains shrouded in mystery. Some theorists suggest it lies in a secluded valley of the Himalayas, while others believe it could be hidden within a cave or perched atop a mountain range. There are even those who suspect it may reside on a remote plateau. This ambiguity persists, as it is said that the immortal sages cloak their valley from human perception with an energy field, rendering tools like Google Maps utterly useless. Intriguingly, some, including the Dalai Lama, propose that this city exists in an entirely different plane of reality. Though ancient texts provide vague guidelines for accessing Gangon, they are often incomprehensible, much like my own attempts at deciphering complex concepts. But let's entertain the notion that you manage to unlock these cryptic instructions and the immortal beings decide to grant you entry. Unfortunately, your journey may still be thwarted. It's believed that only those enlightened masters or sages with a unique karmic bond can truly reach this ethereal city. So, what do these eternal beings engage in within their wondrous domain? Time is not a constraint for them, and ancient scriptures reveal that Gangon boasts a central hub surrounded by 16 distinct areas, each dedicated to the study of a different science. These encompass solar sciences, universal planetary studies, temporal sciences, and even gravitational theories. The common thread? To delve into these subjects, one must possess a profound understanding of energy. The educational levels here are remarkably advanced, with teachings that remain largely unknown in contemporary society. Each scientific discipline is divided into various departments, each led by its own seasoned instructors. Here, time flows differently, allowing many of these teachers to exist for hundreds, if not thousands of years. They can maintain their spiritual forms, radiant masses of light, while their physical bodies remain elsewhere. What an extraordinary school! It makes Hogwarts seem dull by comparison. But does anyone ever graduate? The allure of Gangon has inspired countless adventurers and seekers of wisdom from around the globe. Many have embarked on quests to uncover this land of immortality and spiritual enlightenment, including none other than President Franklin Roosevelt. As you might guess, these expeditions often led to dead ends. Yet, a few notable figures, including renowned spiritual leaders and thrill-seekers, have claimed to have visited this fabled city. One such individual was Sri Gopinath Kaviraj, a distinguished scholar who is credited with being the first modern individual to supposedly discover Gangon. After his alleged journey, he penned a book that brought this enigmatic place into contemporary consciousness, inspiring a wave of foreign scholars to flock to Tibet in search of its secrets. Another fascinating account comes from a mountaineer who lost his way in the Himalayas. After inadvertently consuming toxic mushrooms, he became disoriented and stumbled upon a fogan-shrouded mountain gap. Upon falling inside, he found himself surrounded by oddly dressed individuals who cared for his injuries. Once healed, they guided him out of their mystical city. As these stories unfold, one can only ponder, what lies beyond the veil of Gangon? The answers might be as elusive as the city itself, forever captivating the hearts and minds of those who dare to dream of its existence. After dusting himself off and regaining his footing, he found himself surrounded by individuals clad in peculiar attire, busily tending to his injuries. Once he had fully recovered, they guided him out of the city. Among them was the spiritual leader, Guru Sayaka, who captivated the world with tales of his not just one, but numerous journeys to the mystical realm of Ganges. According to his accounts, he ventured there in search of spiritual enlightenment and teachings of immortality. Each time he visited, a sage accompanied him into the city. His narratives also suggested that this extraordinary kingdom exists in a higher dimension. Another intriguing figure connected to Ganges is L.P. Farrell, an English officer who asserted that he encountered this enchanting place in 1942. While these narratives paint a vivid picture of Ganges, many still find it challenging to keep an open mind regarding its existence. Yet, it's hard to deny that the very notion of a sanctuary where immortality is attainable and virtuous beings are dedicated to safeguarding humanity is both comforting and awe-inspiring. In a remarkable discovery, scientists unearthed the ancient city of Gianola, hidden beneath the thick jungles of Mexico for an astonishing 600 years. This sprawling metropolis spans 360 hectares and boasts over 1,000 structures, 2.5 miles of defensive walls, an intricate network of internal roads, and a meticulously planned urban layout featuring temples, ball courts, and distinct neighborhoods for both the elite and the common folk. For generations, the prevailing belief was that only a dilapidated fortress remained, based solely on tales passed down through the ages. Until recently, no one could fully appreciate its vastness without years of ground exploration. However, thanks to cutting-edge technology known as LiDAR, researchers were able to create a 3D model of the area in just 2 hours from the air. Giangola, as it is called, was constructed between 1350 and 1521 and played a pivotal role for the Zabech people, who had inhabited the region since around 700 BCE. Within Giangola, families resided together in homes designed with spacious patios at their centers, surrounded by various rooms. As families expanded, they added more rooms, enlarging their living spaces. Studies indicate that both leaders and ordinary citizens collaborated to enhance the city's well-being. Nestled among mountains, the inhabitants of Jayangala wisely utilized their land, constructing homes that harmonized with the slopes and allowed rainwater to flow naturally. This thoughtful design ensured the safety and durability of their residences. Many of these structures still stand strong after centuries. The city features 2 pyramids at its core, likely serving as temples where priests conducted rites and ceremonies to honor their deities. Offerings were presented at altars, while the populace gathered in 2 sunken squares. Moreover, a grand palace with 64 rooms, some adorned with circular columns across multiple sloped terraces, is part of this remarkable site. A series of patios interconnected by stairways enhance the architectural grandeur. LiDAR technology also revealed a round lookout point on a natural rock formation, which allowed the Zabech people to spot any approaching enemies from afar. Researchers discovered 2 circular structures that might have been used for astronomical observations and timekeeping. Tombs were also found, indicating the presence of a city cemetery. By the late 1400s, the Zabech people had established control over a vast territory along the Pacific coast, successfully defending their lands against the encroaching Aztecs. They achieved the near impossible by enduring a grueling 7-month siege at Jayangala. Victorious in this conflict, they maintained their hold over southern Mesoamerica, and the Zabech found themselves less reliant on Jayangala. Although residing in the mountains offered certain advantages, they required fresh water and fertile land for agriculture. The nearby city of Tonopek, located just 12 miles away, provided these essential resources, prompting their relocation just before the Spanish arrived in 1521. As time passed, the traditions of the Zabech began to wane. However, their culture did not vanish entirely. Over 300,000 Zabech people continue to thrive in Oaxaca State, Mexico, preserving their languages and customs. The creation of the 3D model of this lost city marks just the beginning of ongoing research. Archaeologists are eager to delve deeper into Jayangala, hoping to uncover more about the governance, societal structure, and interactions of the Zapotecs, particularly in relation to the Spanish invaders. Their plan involves studying all 1,100 buildings identified in the LiDAR scans, a process projected to take several years. Rather than excavating the ruins, they will employ advanced technology to explore the land and gain insights into the city without causing damage. This same innovative technology has also aided scientists in uncovering another massive ancient city, concealed beneath the dense green canopy of the Amazon rainforest. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie beneath the lush foliage of the Amazon? Thanks to groundbreaking technology, scientists are now able to explore the land and uncover its mysteries without causing any harm. This innovative approach has led to the discovery of a colossal ancient city, long hidden beneath the dense green canopy of the Amazon rainforest. Imagine a sprawling network of homes, plazas, roads, and canals, all nestled in the shadow of a majestic volcano. For centuries, many experts believed that the ancient inhabitants of the Amazon lived in small huts, eking out a meager existence by clearing patches of land. However, this incredible city, constructed 2,500 years ago and occupied for a millennium, tells a completely different story. Researchers now estimate that tens of thousands, possibly even hundreds of thousands, of people thrived within this sophisticated urban society. Through detailed scanning of the area, they identified 6,000 rectangular platforms, each approximately 66 by 33 feet and standing between 6 to 9 feet tall. These remarkable structures were thoughtfully arranged in clusters around central plazas, connected by straight roads that formed perfect right angles. One of these roads stretched an impressive 16 miles in length. Constructing such straight thoroughfares is no small feat. It's much more challenging than simply following the natural contours of the landscape. Some of these routes might have held deep spiritual or ceremonial significance. While the rich volcanic soil nurtured this civilization, it may have also contributed to its eventual decline. Researchers have uncovered evidence of potential threats to the city, such as ditches blocking access to settlements, suggesting that neighboring communities might have posed a danger. The next phase of research will involve delving into the adjacent 116 square miles, aiming to unravel the complexities of a society that could rival the renowned Mayan civilizations of Mexico and Central America. But the wonders of ancient cities don't end there. In 1963, a man in Turkey stumbled upon a hidden city while renovating his home. As he knocked down a wall in his basement, he uncovered a mysterious chamber. Curiosity drove him to dig deeper, revealing a tunnel that led to the stunning underground city of Derinkuyu. This remarkable site is one of the deepest multilevel underground settlements in Cappadocia and indeed all of Turkey. The residents of Derinkuyu dwelled across 8 levels, with access to wine cellars, storage rooms, chapels, a school, and various other structures. An intricate network of tunnels connected all floors, showcasing the ingenuity of its builders. Concealed beneath 279 feet of earth, this complex was designed as a refuge, capable of sheltering about 20,000 people along with their livestock and provisions. A 180-foot ventilation shaft ensured fresh air circulated throughout the subterranean maze. Archaeologists believe the original levels were constructed by the Phrygians, with the Romans later enhancing and utilizing the structure. The height of Derinkuyu's prominence occurred during the Byzantine era. Another remarkable city lost to time emerged only in fragmented inscriptions and ancient texts, leaving historians uncertain of its existence. However, dedicated scientists scoured the Egyptian coastline until one archaeologist and his team made a stunning discovery: a colossal face peering back at them from beneath the waves. This was the ancient city of Tirionis Heraclean, found submerged 4 miles off the coast of Alexandria. Within the ruins of this lost metropolis lay 64 ships, 700 anchors, and a treasure trove of gold coins. Among the most significant findings from the expedition were a 16-foot-tall statue and the remains of a temple. These remnants offer a glimpse into the vibrant life that thrived 2,300 years ago in one of the world's most vital trading ports. Tirionis Heraclean boasted a network of canals reminiscent of an ancient Egyptian Venice, linking various harbors and providing access to towers, temples, homes, and more via bridges. This bustling port served as Egypt's primary gateway for international trade and tax collection. While the exact reasons for the city's submersion remain a mystery, archaeologists believe it resulted from natural disasters. By the end of the 2nd century BCE, likely following a catastrophic flood, the city was engulfed in water. As Alexandria, founded by Alexander the Great, rose to prominence, Tirionis Heraclean faded from memory. Ships once destined for Heraclean were rerouted to Alexandria, leaving the former port in obscurity until its rediscovery in 2000. Now, imagine it's the first day of your highly anticipated journey to the Amazon rainforest. You've journeyed the long distance to South America, landing in the vibrant city of Manaus, the heart of the Brazilian Amazon. Having traveled by air, car, and now by water, you find yourself aboard a small boat gliding over the dark waters of the Amazon River. Yes, this river, known simply as the Amazon, holds the title of the 2nd longest river in the world, surpassed only by the Nile in Egypt. What wonders and discoveries await you in this enchanting landscape, exploring the enigmatic depths of the Amazon River? Imagine yourself gliding through the shadowy waters of the Amazon River. Yes, that's right, the very same river known simply as the Amazon. Just to clarify, it proudly holds the title of the 2nd longest river in the world, trailing only behind the majestic Nile in Egypt. Spanning a staggering 2,700 square miles, the Amazon begins its journey in Peru and flows gracefully until it meets the Atlantic Ocean off Brazil's coast. To immerse yourself in the wonders of this extraordinary ecosystem, you decide to embark on a boat adventure. Your first exciting stop? Witnessing the thrill of piranha fishing. If you're feeling adventurous, you can even try your hand at catching one. Keep in mind, though, that these carnivorous fish inhabit the river, so taking a dip might not be the wisest choice. As you continue your journey, you'll encounter one of the Amazon basin's most iconic species, the broad-snouted caiman. At first glance, it resembles a typical alligator, but with a distinctive yellow chin that sets it apart. Your guide hops off the boat to search the waters, eager to show you this fascinating reptile up close. But the adventure doesn't stop there. Your guide shares tales of another legendary inhabitant of these murky waters, the pink dolphin. And just as luck would have it, you spot a family of these enchanting creatures frolicking nearby. From your vantage point, they appear almost magical. Did you know that dolphins can be pink? After a few mesmerizing moments, you learn that the dolphin's vibrant hue is actually an optical illusion. Originally, these enchanting animals sport a pinkish-gray color, but the brown waters of the Amazon make them appear vividly pink when viewed from above. Your guide explains that the pink dolphin is a central figure in Brazilian folklore, with locals believing that these dolphins can transform into humans and venture into towns at night. As you disembark near one of the forest's entrances, your adventure continues on foot. Your guide warns you that you're entering treacherous territory. The Amazon is home to some of the most spine-chilling wildlife on the planet. But fear not. Today promises a glimpse of many of these wonders. Armed with bug spray, a raincoat, and your keen senses, you're ready to navigate the jungle's depths. You may have heard the tales of the anaconda, a snake capable of swallowing prey as large as a cow in a single gulp. These legends are not mere fiction. Such reptiles indeed roam the depths of the jungle. What's that moving through the trees? Could it be a spider? Behold the Goliath bird-eater, an enormous spider with legs that can grow up to a foot in length, weighing in at about 6 ounces. Known as the king of tarantulas, it's best to admire from a distance. While it's not venomous to humans, its bite can certainly pack a punch. True to its name, the Goliath bird-eater can even feast on birds, provided they're smaller than itself. Next, you stumble upon another intriguing spider species that captures your attention. This one is so tiny it's almost invisible. Known as the decoy spider, it constructs a gigantic fake spider using the remains of other insects and dry leaves to scare off larger predators. It's as fascinating as it is eerie. A spider that creates art to protect itself. Who knew the arachnid world held such creative talent? As you approach a small lake, an extraordinary scene unfolds before your eyes. A large snake is stealthily making its way towards a lizard basking on a rock, completely oblivious to the lurking danger. Just as the snake prepares to strike, the lizard makes a dramatic escape, introducing you to the basilisk lizard, renowned for its remarkable ability to run across the water. This isn't a trick. It's all about balance. The small lizard flails its legs rapidly on the water's surface, its long tail acting as a counterbalance. Wouldn't it be incredible to possess such a skill? Curious about the inner workings of a frog? You're in the perfect spot. Right before you is a rare species known as the glass frog, boasting a skin so transparent that you can see its internal organs with astonishing clarity. It feels like you've gained X-ray vision. Continuing your adventure, you soon discover a serene pond adorned with what might be the largest water lily you've ever encountered. These colossal plants, known as Victoria amazonica, can reach up to 8 feet in diameter and can support the weight of an adult. However, a word of caution. Climbing onto one isn't advisable. After all, this is the Amazon rainforest we're talking about. The wildlife here is nothing short of spectacular, but the forest itself is equally mesmerizing. Prepare to be captivated at every turn, but let me advise you against attempting to climb it, if I were in your shoes. We're talking about the Amazon rainforest, after all. The wildlife here is nothing short of breathtaking, but the forest itself is a spectacle in its own right. Did you know that over 80,000 species of plants and trees thrive in the Amazon? In fact, this lush jungle is home to an astounding 10% of all the world's wildlife. An estimated 400 billion trees stand tall across the vast expanse of this forest. It's no wonder that this location is a hub of biodiversity. While you may not have the chance to see everything on your visit, your guide will certainly share fascinating tales about a unique tree species that has earned a reputation for being able to walk. Yes, you heard that right. There are walking trees in the Amazon rainforest. Now, they don't have legs or anything like that, but these trees do have a remarkable ability to move in search of better light. The Amazon's canopy is so dense that only about 1% of sunlight reaches the forest floor. As a result, some trees receive less sunlight than others. Enter the so-called walking palm trees, which have adapted brilliantly to this environment. They develop new roots that allow them to shift position by up to 1 to 2 inches each day, covering distances of up to 65 feet in a year. Perhaps this concept inspired John Ronald Reuel Tolkien when he created the Ents, those tree-like beings that wander the earth. Believe it or not, the Amazon is not just a sanctuary for wildlife. Over 30 million people also call this forest home, living alongside ancient settlements that scientists believe once thrived here. Now, I'm not referring to the legendary El Dorado, that's merely a myth. However, a groundbreaking study conducted in 2018 revealed that approximately 1 million people likely inhabited the Amazon between the years 1250 and 1500 CE. Can you imagine that? Collaborating with local indigenous communities, researchers from the University of Florida uncovered several mounds in the Amazon. Alongside these mounds, they stumbled upon intriguing ditches and geoglyphs. After meticulously mapping these recurring mounds, scientists deduced that they indicated signs of an ancient civilization. They discovered remnants of well-constructed walls surrounding plazas, suggesting that these ancient cities were substantial, capable of accommodating hundreds of thousands of inhabitants. These discoveries reignited the idea that the Amazon may have been home to flourishing civilizations long before Europeans set foot there. However, instead of opulent cities awash in gold, these were simply sophisticated agricultural societies. Picture this. You could spend an entire week exploring ancient ruins and capturing photographs of the world's most surreal archaeological sites. Would you be up for the adventure? Let's embark on this journey together. Our first destination on this packed itinerary is Southeast Asia, a region rich with remarkable ruins. You'll kick off your exploration in Bagan, nestled in the heart of Myanmar. There are numerous ways to experience this site, and you're fortunate to have booked 2 unique adventures. The first is a hot air balloon ride at sunrise. Just before dawn, you board the balloon, and as the first rays of sunlight grace the horizon, you begin your ascent over the breathtaking landscape. As the sun rises, it illuminates over 2,000 conical golden structures below. Though the hot air balloon ride is brief, it grants you unparalleled views across the sprawling 40 miles of the site. Once you're back on solid ground, you rent a bicycle and meander through the village of ruins. Some of these ancient structures are open for exploration, allowing you to peek inside. These magnificent remnants were constructed between the 11th and 13th centuries CE, primarily serving as places of worship. Originally, there were over 10,000 buildings, but many succumbed to the ravages of time and earthquakes. Thankfully, since being designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2015, the site has been preserved for future generations. Next, you hop on a flight to Cambodia, eager to visit Angkor, the world-renowned archaeological site hidden deep within the jungle. Remember to bring your bug spray. It's essential. Angkor was once the capital of the Khmer Empire, flourishing from the 9th to the 15th centuries. Fun fact, the word Angkor translates to capital city in the Khmer language. Established by King Yasovarman I, Angkor grew to become one of the largest cities in the pre-industrial world, with an estimated population of nearly 1 million residents. To this day, Angkor is celebrated for its stunning architecture, characterized by the extensive use of massive sandstone blocks. The towers were once adorned in gold, but now the site is a labyrinth of vine-covered temples. Abandoned in 1431, Angkor lay hidden until its rediscovery in the 1840s. And just to impress your friends later, this site is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a designation it received in 1992. Now, your adventure continues in Egypt, where you will visit the Karnak Temple located in the city of Luxor. You've chosen the most unconventional way to reach Luxor. Embark on a journey through time. Your cultural odyssey awaits. Imagine immersing yourself in the rich tapestry of history and culture as you travel through some of the world's most iconic ancient sites. Your adventure continues in the mesmerizing land of Egypt. This time, you're set to explore the magnificent Karnak Temple nestled in the heart of Luxor. But instead of the usual transport, you decide to take a scenic boat ride down the legendary Nile River. As you leave Cairo behind and sail southward, you can feel the anticipation building. Luxor, once the magnificent capital of ancient Egypt, was a true center of power and opulence. It's no wonder that the Karnak complex stands as one of the most significant archaeological treasures of our time. Choosing to visit the temple at night only heightens the experience. Upon arrival, you are immediately captivated by the enchanting beauty of the site. Under the soft glow of artificial lights, the temple's statues and towering stone columns shimmer with a golden hue. This colossal structure, primarily built during the 18th and 19th dynasties BCE, showcases the architectural genius of the Egyptian pharaohs who left their unique imprints on this sacred place. Imagine strolling down the famed Avenue of Sphinxes, leading you to the awe-inspiring Great Hypostyle Hall. Here, you'll find yourself surrounded by soaring pylons and robust sandstone columns, a true wonder that leaves you in admiration. From the sun-drenched sands of Egypt, your journey takes you to the rugged beauty of Jordan. If you have a penchant for breathtaking landscapes, you're in for a treat. The ancient city of Petra, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is waiting to be discovered. Carved into the rosered cliffs of the desert, this remarkable city served as a vital trading hub during the 4th century BCE. Inhabited by the industrious Nabateans, the ingenuity of its people is evident in the city's remarkable water management systems, which transformed this arid landscape into a thriving oasis. As you tour the ruins, don't miss the iconic Al-Khazna, or the treasury, standing majestically at the entrance. Legend has it that a hidden treasure lies beneath its grand facade. Be sure to capture that perfect photo underneath its magnificent facade for your social media feed. After ticking Petra off your list, your next destination is the southern tip of Italy, where you'll spend a day exploring the hauntingly beautiful ruins of Pompeii. A short drive from Naples takes you to this extraordinary archaeological site where time stands still. When Mount Vesuvius erupted in 79 CE, it buried Pompeii under thick layers of volcanic ash, preserving it for centuries. Discovered in the 16th century and excavated in the 1870s, Pompeii offers a unique glimpse into ancient Roman life. As you wander through its streets, you can almost visualize the vibrant community that once thrived here. The city was bustling with bakeries, bustling markets, and elegant homes featuring balconies, symbols of wealth and status at the time. Remarkably, some artworks survived the devastation, showcasing exquisite frescoes adorned with mythological beings, hinting at the cultural richness of its inhabitants. While still in Europe, don't miss the chance to visit the enigmatic Stonehenge. Just a short train ride from London, this ancient wonder rests on the Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England, and is recognized worldwide as one of the oldest stone structures. Dating back over 5,000 years, the mysterious stone circles of Stonehenge have puzzled historians and archaeologists alike. Who were the builders and what was their purpose? Some theories suggest it served as a sophisticated solar calendar, helping ancient peoples track time. It's hard to believe that such monumental effort was dedicated to creating a mere calendar, isn't it? As your journey draws to a close, prepare to explore the ancient Mayan ruins in Central America. In Guatemala, the lost city of Tikal awaits, a sprawling complex of 3,000 structures that once stood as the heart of the Mayan Empire. Its significance can be likened to that of modern metropolises like London or New York. The North Acropolis, the oldest complex in Tikal, dates back to 350 BCE and served as a final resting place for kings and dignitaries. Once adorned with vibrant red paint, the step pyramids now stand as weathered limestone monuments to a bygone era. You might wonder what caused this once great city to fall into ruins. The truth is, archaeologists are still searching for answers. Was it a drought, disease, or perhaps something else? The mystery remains elusive. Are you ready to delve into the world of the Mayans? Just a stone's throw away lies Chichen Itza, renowned for having some of the best preserved pyramids on Earth. Located in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, this ancient city thrived over 1,500 years ago, at one point housing around 35,000 inhabitants. Your journey through these incredible sites not only uncovers the mysteries of the past, but also enriches your own understanding of human history and achievement. What stories will you take home with you? Welcome to the fascinating world of the ancient Maya. Did you know that there's an archaeological site in Mexico that boasts the most well-preserved pyramids on the planet? Nestled in the Yucatan state, this remarkable Mayan city predates our modern era by over 1,500 years. At the height of its civilization, it thrived with a population of around 35,000 inhabitants. Spanning 1.9 square miles, the site is adorned with numerous ruins, but the crown jewel is undoubtedly El Castillo. This awe-inspiring step pyramid towers 80 feet into the sky, showcasing 91 steps on each of its 4 sides. When you include the upper platform, that totals a remarkable 365 steps, mirroring the number of days in our solar year. What a whirlwind journey through history. Now it's time to return home and let all this knowledge sink in. Until next time, speaking of unforgettable experiences. Back in December 2012, many people were gripped by fear over a looming apocalypse, all thanks to the notorious Maya calendar. This ancient method of tracking time has sparked endless debates and curiosities. One of its most profound enigmas? The mysterious 819-day count that appears in some versions of the calendar. For years, no one could decipher its meaning, until recently, when a team of researchers from Cambridge may have finally unraveled this ancient puzzle. Let's break it down. How does the Maya calendar function? The system employed by the Maya civilization to keep track of days is known as the calendar round. Imagine it as 3 interlocking gears, each representing a different cycle. The first is the 365-day solar year, called Hub. The second cycle consists of 20 unique names, and the third comprises a sequence of 13 numbers, creating a 260-day sacred calendar known as Salkin. Just as we might refer to a date like December 25, 2025, the Maya named their days according to how these 3 cycles aligned. For instance, they might refer to a day as 3 Monik on the 14th of the month Pop. After 52 years, these cycles realign, causing the days to repeat. But hold on. This is where things take a turn into the intriguing and complex. Some Mayan monuments feature cryptic inscriptions hinting at the existence of yet another cycle, the elusive 819-day count. With roughly 20 examples of these inscriptions primarily discovered in sites like Palenque and Yaxchilan in Mexico, it's evident that there's nothing random about it. This calendar system clearly concealed a significant secret. Initial studies revealed that the 819-day cycle was associated with one of 4 colors, each linked to cardinal directions. Black represented the west, red symbolized the east, white indicated the north, and yellow denoted the south. Researchers also uncovered that this period could be broken down into 3 smaller cycles, one of 9 days, another of 7 days, and a third of 13 days. When multiplied together, these cycles total 819 days. Fascinating, right? But the question remains, why did they create this intricate scheme? This color-coded system, combined with the 3 cycles, seemed to hint at a deeper meaning that experts have yet to fully grasp. Another intriguing observation made by researchers was that this unusual count of days was typically marked using a Y glyph followed by a number. In certain instances, a glyph representing Kawil was also included. Kawil was a powerful deity in the Maya pantheon, often associated with creation and lightning, often depicted with a torch emanating from his forehead, a symbol of illumination. During the 90s, a study suggested that when Kawil's inscription included smoke and fire from his forehead, it could refer to the planets Jupiter or Saturn, or possibly both. Could it be that the 819-day count was somehow connected to these celestial bodies? From there, researchers began to explore this potential link. The initial conclusion was that this calendar might have assisted the Maya in tracking the movements of these planets. They soon discovered something intriguing. These cycles could specifically correlate with the synodic periods of Jupiter and Saturn. By synodic periods, we refer to the time it takes for a celestial body, like a planet, to return to a similar position as viewed from Earth. While this connection was thrilling, something didn't quite add up. Each planet travels in its own unique manner, and attempting to fit multiple planetary movements into an 819-day time frame seemed implausible. In essence, this four-part, color-coded calendar system appeared too brief to align accurately with the synodic periods of visible planets. So, it seems we found ourselves back at square one. This enigma left many scratching their heads for years, until 2023, when specialists realized they might have been approaching it from the wrong angle. Researchers needed to adjust their perspective. Instead of interpreting this system as merely 819 days, they began to consider that this number could signify timelines, suggesting that this time frame was merely a small part of an even grander calendar. Unlocking the mysteries of the Maya calendar system. Have you ever stopped to think about how ancient civilizations measured time? Instead of viewing the intriguing number of 819 days merely as a time frame, consider it a representation of timelines. This span could be just a fragment of a much larger calendar framework. Earlier, we mentioned that this cycle appeared to correspond with the moment a planet became visible from our vantage point on Earth. To substantiate that these 819 cycles were indeed timelines rather than mere days, researchers sought a planet that could anchor their theory. Enter Mercury, a key player in this story. Why Mercury, you ask? The answer is straightforward. Its synodic period is 117 days, which aligns seamlessly with the calendar count. When you take 1819 and divide it by 117, you arrive at the number 7. This means Mercury is the sole visible planet whose synodic cycle fits neatly within this structure using whole numbers. With Mercury as their foundational reference point, researchers expanded the calendar's length to encompass 20 cycles of 819 days. Suddenly, a captivating pattern emerged. All the synodic cycles of the planets started to align perfectly within the system. Take a look at Saturn, for example. Its synodic period of 378 days fits precisely after 6 819-day cycles. Venus aligns every 5 cycles, while Jupiter does so every 19 cycles. Mars, the slowest of the group, takes 20 cycles to align. In simpler terms, it requires around 45 years for Mars to sync up with the synodic periods of all visible planets. So, how did these researchers conclude that the ancient Maya were not counting days, but rather tracking timelines? The Maya astronomers developed this count as part of a more extensive calendar system composed of 20 periods. But a pressing question arises. Why was the study of the synodic period so significant to the Maya? While we may not have all the specific answers regarding this enigmatic calendar, one thing is clear. The Maya held a deep belief in the cosmos's influence over their daily lives. Perhaps they aimed to explore how the movements of all visible planets corresponded with their other calendars. This system is just a glimpse into the remarkable and sophisticated understanding the Maya had of astrology. Their astrological knowledge wasn't limited to planting and harvesting cycles. They also possessed detailed insights into predicting solar eclipses. Archaeologists believe that the Maya's celestial connection is prominently reflected in the ruins scattered across their ancient world. Take, for instance, the famed pyramid in the ancient city of Chichen Itza, located in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. If you examine the base of its staircase closely, you'll notice a sculpted snake's head. Here's where it gets fascinating. During the spring and fall equinoxes, when day and night are of equal length, the sun casts sharp triangular shadows down the staircase, creating the illusion of a snake slithering down the steps. Another remarkable example of their astronomical prowess can be found in Tikal, Guatemala. Constructed around the year 1 CE, this pyramid is regarded as one of the earliest astronomical complexes of the Maya. Its precise alignment and orientation enabled the Maya to track and calculate solstices and equinoxes with astonishing accuracy. The Maya were indeed skilled observers of the sky. Much like our modern high-tech observatories, they had their own version. Allow me to introduce you to Alarec. Its name, which means snail in Spanish, references the spiral staircase within the tower. Built around 96 CE, it served as the perfect venue for monitoring celestial changes and tracking the movements of the sun, moon, planets, and stars. Unlike our contemporary world, equipped with telescopes, satellites, and advanced technology, the Maya relied solely on their keen eyesight. This makes their astronomical accomplishments all the more impressive. In recent years, researchers have uncovered nearly 1,000 hidden Maya settlements nestled in the tropical lowlands of what is now northern Guatemala. This remarkable discovery was made using LiDAR technology, or light detection and ranging lasers, which allowed scientists to scan extensive areas from the air. The region in question spans roughly 650 square miles, revealing structures and buildings that were likely occupied thousands of years ago. These sites appear to have been densely populated, with at least 417 identifiable ancient villages, towns, and cities. These structures comprised a sophisticated state resembling a kingdom. They included sports courts, civic, ceremonial, and religious centers, as well as residential homes. Massive palaces, platforms, dams, pyramids, and causeways dotted the landscape. The inhabitants also constructed reservoirs to collect water, showcasing their ability to organize thousands of specialists and workers. Remarkably, they accomplished all of this without the advanced technologies we take for granted today. The remarkable Maya civilization, a deep dive into their legacy. Did you know that the ancient Maya civilization had an extraordinary ability to mobilize thousands of specialists and laborers? Imagine the incredible coordination required to construct monumental structures without the modern technologies we take for granted today. They needed skilled artisans like lime producers, architects, quarry specialists, and legal enforcers to lay the foundation of their vibrant community. One of the fascinating tools that researchers employed to explore this ancient realm is a cutting-edge laser scanning system. It can penetrate dense ecosystems and thick vegetation, sending light pulses that bounce back from various surfaces to create a digitally reconstructed map. This mapping technique revealed that the region included lowlands ideal for agriculture. So why did the Maya choose to settle in this particular area? It wasn't just any ordinary location. Constructing such an impressive kingdom within a tropical rainforest was no easy feat historically. Ancient civilizations tended to flourish in drier climates, where they could establish vital water resources that formed the backbone of their societies. A prime example of this is Teotihuacan in highland Mexico, which thrived due to its favorable conditions, despite having navigable rivers for transport and trade. However, the rainforest offered its own set of advantages. The Maya skillfully utilized abundant natural resources, including limestone, their primary building material, as well as salt and volcanic obsidian for crafting tools. They cleverly identified enough dry land to construct homes, while the seasonal swamps, known as bajos, provided fertile soil perfect for agriculture. The Maya were well prepared for the challenges posed by their environment. Their settlements were designed to endure both rainy seasons and dry spells, demonstrating their adaptability through innovative architecture. This resilience was a testament to their unity as a centralized kingdom, which allowed them to withstand adversities. By the 6th century CE, the Mayan Empire had reached its zenith, excelling in pottery, agriculture, writing, mathematics, and calendar systems. They created intricate calendar systems, including the famous calendar round, which is based on 365 days. Contrary to popular belief, the supposed prediction of the world ending on December 21, 2012, was merely a coincidence linked to the conclusion of a specific cycle. They referred to this extensive timekeeping system as the long count calendar, spanning an impressive 5,125 years. The Maya left behind an astonishing legacy of monumental architecture and intricate artwork. However, by 900 CE, most of their stone cities lay abandoned. The reasons behind the collapse of the Mayan civilization remain a mystery, sparking various theories. Some scholars argue that by the 9th century, the Maya had depleted their surrounding resources to the extent that they could no longer sustain their large population. Others suggest that conflicts between city-states undermined their traditional power structures. Additionally, some historians point to prolonged periods of drought as a contributing factor. Ultimately, it could be a combination of all these elements. Interestingly, one Mayan city, nestled on an island, managed to survive until the 17th century, long after the rest of the Mayan civilizations had vanished. If you're a traveler, you might recognize the modern name of this town, Flores. Scientists estimate that around 2,000 people inhabited this resilient settlement. The earliest Maya were primarily farmers, cultivating crops such as beans, squash, corn, and cassava. With a diverse array of ingredients at their disposal, they crafted hundreds of delicious recipes that have endured through the ages. Ingredients like papayas, cacao, avocados, squash, pineapples, and chili peppers remain staples in contemporary Mexican cuisine. While the Maya largely practiced a primitive form of slash-and-burn agriculture, evidence also suggests they employed more sophisticated techniques like terracing and irrigation. Chocolate lovers, rejoice! Over 3,500 years ago, the Olmec of Mesoamerica were likely the first to discover the labor involved in creating chocolate, but it was the Maya who elevated it to an art form. Archaeologists unearthed cacao remnants in Mayan pottery, indicating their deep appreciation for this treat. Their chocolate concoction, which was a spicy and savory beverage, was made by mixing cacao with honey, water, cornmeal, and chili peppers, a recipe that you can still savor in Mexico and Central America today. Furthermore, the Maya utilized written language, producing books made from fig tree bark. By crafting strips of this paper, they established an extensive library of knowledge, preserving their culture and insights for future generations. A Day in Mexico and Central America, unveiling the wonders of the Maya civilization. Did you know that the Maya civilization had a remarkable written language? Their unique books, crafted from fig tree bark, led to the creation of an extensive library of texts. These extraordinary manuscripts, known as codices, are a testament to their literary prowess, with 4 still surviving today. Unfortunately, many of these invaluable works succumbed to the humid climate or were lost due to human intervention over the centuries. The classic Maya were not only skilled scribes but also masterful architects. They constructed awe-inspiring palaces and temples, characterized by their iconic stepped pyramid design. These structures were adorned with intricate inscriptions and reliefs, earning the Maya a well-deserved reputation as some of the finest artists in Mesoamerica. But aesthetics played a significant role in Maya society. They placed immense value on flat foreheads, which were considered a symbol of beauty. Imagine a culture where such a trait was highly coveted. To achieve this look, they would bind the heads of infants. The Maya were also passionate about personal adornment, utilizing makeup and elaborate clothing to express their individuality. Additionally, the Maya were pioneers in the world of body art, recognized as some of the earliest tattoo artists. Their rich cultural tapestry included beliefs in various mythical entities, such as fairies, Across the globe, civilizations have had their own interpretations of these mystical beings, and the Maya referred to them as aluxes. Picture this. The Maya would carve sculptures of aluxes from wood or clay, carefully hiding them in secret spots within the forest. They believed that these figures would awaken at night, acting as guardians of their land, animals, and crops. The Maya also held a profound belief that caves were gateways to the underworld. If you're adventurous, you can explore some of these mystical caves today. For instance, the jungles of Quintana Roo and Yucatan, near Cancun, are home to many sites where researchers have unearthed artifacts left behind by the Maya. Remarkably, the Maya were among the first cultures to harness the power of rubber latex. They crafted rubber balls for their many thrilling games, blending natural latex with other substances to create bouncy spheres. Their ingenuity didn't stop there. They also constructed impressive steam baths. The stone structures they built resembled modern bathtubs, and they created heated stone areas known as sweat lodges. Archaeologists have discovered these fascinating sites in El Salvador and Guatemala, often buried beneath layers of volcanic ash. Now, let's shift our focus to Easter Island, a place steeped in mystery. In the 1800s, explorers uncovered ancient artifacts adorned with strange symbols on this remote island. Famed for its colossal statues known as the moai, these enigmatic symbols appear to represent a form of writing, yet their meanings remain elusive. Some scientists speculate that cracking this code could unravel the mysteries surrounding the decline of the ancient society on Easter Island. Let's don our detective hats for a moment. The mysterious script discovered on the island is called Rango Rango. A French explorer stumbled upon 26 wooden tablets inscribed with peculiar hieroglyphs during his visit in 1864. The locals had depicted animals they had never encountered, using sharp stones to etch each creature's unique name. The explorer deemed these carvings fascinating and suspected they might be remnants of an ancient writing system. Interestingly, the term Rango Rango originates from the island's native language, meaning to recite, declaim, or chant. The wooden tablets were not in pristine condition. Many were weathered, burned, or damaged. Glyphs also adorned a birdman statuette and 2 additional ornaments, with inscriptions intricately interwoven between the lines on the tablets. The imagery showcases a vibrant collection of humans, animals, plants, and geometric shapes, creating a diverse visual tapestry. Here's a curious detail. Every symbol featuring a head is oriented upwards, either facing forward or to the right. The writing's orientation itself is peculiar. According to local tradition, the artisans used obsidian flakes or small shark teeth as tools for their carvings. However, deciphering these glyphs presents a formidable challenge. 3 significant barriers complicate the task: the limited number of existing texts, the absence of illustrations and contextual information, and the fact that the language employed on the tablets is not well understood. Some skeptics even argue that these glyphs may not constitute genuine writing but rather elaborate symbols without any linguistic foundation. Others suggest they could have served as mnemonic devices or mere decorative elements. So, as we traverse the paths of history, we find ourselves captivated by the enigmatic legacies left behind by the Maya and the mysteries of Easter Island. Who knows what secrets await discovery in the pages of time? Have you ever wondered about the secrets hidden within ancient symbols? The intriguing world of ancient scripts is filled with mysteries, and some of these scripts, while visually captivating, may not represent real writing at all. Instead, they could be mere decorative symbols or memory aids crafted by their creators. The meticulous way these inscriptions are etched into tablets suggests that their makers had a message to convey, though we may never know if it was just whimsical art or a means to share vital stories across generations. Researchers have been on a quest to decode these ancient scripts, and it seems progress is slowly being made. Recent studies utilizing advanced techniques like radiocarbon dating revealed that certain tablets date back to between 1810 and 1870 and were crafted from local wood. One particular tablet, despite being in a deteriorated state, was transformed into a 3D model, uncovering hidden glyphs that were previously invisible. One researcher noted discovering grooves likely used for writing, much like drawing lines on a blank sheet to ensure neatness in writing. But that's not the only enigma awaiting unraveling. Enter the Indus Valley Script, a fascinating but undeciphered collection of symbols from the ancient Indus Valley civilization. Specialists are puzzled by its purpose. The symbols are remarkably brief, leaving experts questioning whether they form a comprehensive language system. Compounding the mystery is the absence of any similar writings for comparison. Inscriptions from different eras suggest a surprising consistency over time, leading some to speculate that it might not even relate to any known language at all. Others propose that it could belong to the Dravidian family of languages, commonly found in South Asia. For centuries, linguists have dedicated themselves to deciphering the enigmatic hieroglyphics of the Maya civilization, inscribed on monuments, pottery, and bark paper books. As we progressively decode these ancient symbols, our understanding of the Maya's social and historical context deepens. Surprisingly, many scholars once dismissed the Maya script as a non-language. Who can blame them? The glyphs are undeniably intricate and visually stunning. However, thanks to the pioneering efforts of a dedicated ethnologist in the 1950s, we now recognize that the Maya script is indeed phonetic, a system where each glyph corresponds to a sound in spoken language. As interest surged among linguists in the 70s and 80s, it became evident that this was a fully functional writing system capable of articulating any spoken sentence with precision. Yet, a vast amount of decoding remains, with countless carvings still waiting to be unveiled in overgrown jungle ruins and dusty museum closets. What other secrets might we uncover about this remarkable civilization? Now, let's turn the clock back to 1908. An adventurous Italian archaeologist was exploring the ruins of an ancient palace on the southern coast of Crete when he stumbled upon an extraordinary discovery. Amidst the dust and debris of an underground repository, he uncovered a nearly intact, golden-hued disc, the legendary Phaistos disc. This remarkable artifact has become one of archaeology's most enduring mysteries. Measuring as a sizable clay plate, it boasts a spiral of peculiar stamped symbols that swirl clockwise toward the center. These pictograms depict a variety of images, including a person walking, a tattooed head, a helmet, an arrow, manacles, cats, eagles, and much more. But here's the twist. No one has yet cracked the code of these symbols. Despite numerous scholarly attempts to decipher the disc's meaning, success has eluded them all. Some experts speculate that these symbols may relate to Linear A, a script not tied to any known language, while others propose it could be a form of syllabic writing linked to various languages, including Homeric Greek or Indo-European languages. Traveling back in time even further, we encounter the enigmatic Vinca culture, a fascinating European civilization that thrived thousands of years ago. They had their own writing system, making them one of the earliest known cultures with such a development. However, deciphering their script remains an elusive goal. The Vinca culture was located in what is now Eastern Europe, deriving its name from the village of Vinca, situated just downstream from Belgrade along the banks of the Danube River. Recently, a team of Bulgarian archaeologists unearthed a 7,000-year-old inscription adorned with Vinca script, the oldest of its kind discovered in Europe. These symbols were etched into a ceramic tile, and researchers believe they may convey information about local calendars and significant events. What stories might these ancient inscriptions still have to tell? Imagine uncovering a relic that rewrites history as we know it. Recently, researchers discovered a remarkable script, the oldest of its kind in Europe. This ancient inscription, etched into a ceramic tile, is believed to encapsulate vital information about local calendars and significant events. The Vinca culture, from which this artifact hails, was astonishingly advanced for its time. They had the ingenuity to inscribe messages on wet clay using sharp tools. It may not seem groundbreaking now, but consider the fact that these innovations emerged thousands of years ago. Speaking of enigmas, let's delve into the Voynich manuscript, a book that has sparked heated debates among linguists and historians alike. Is this cryptic tome evidence of a long-lost civilization or merely an elaborate hoax? Filled with text that has confounded even the most brilliant codebreakers, this manuscript dates back to the 15th century. It was unearthed in 1912 by a book dealer named Wilfried M. Voynich, giving the manuscript its name. If it is a ruse, it is an exceptionally well-crafted one. The elegant handwriting and intricate patterns within the text bear resemblance to various languages, adding to its mystique. Now, picture this. You find yourself lost deep in the dense jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico. Strange sounds echo around you as the sun dips below the horizon. The reality of being alone in an unfamiliar rainforest is setting in. Perhaps seeking El Dorado solo wasn't the best idea? As you rush through the underbrush, something catches your eye. A series of massive stone stairways. This doesn't appear to be a natural formation, so you snap a photo. While you might not have struck gold, you may have stumbled upon something significant. Congratulations! You have unearthed Amun, a long-lost Mayan city tucked away 37 miles into the jungle. The name Amun translates to stone column, a fitting tribute to the materials used extensively by its inhabitants to construct pyramids, homes, and even ball courts. If you've ever thought that ball games were a European invention, think again. Mayan civilization cherished these games for recreation. Amun is part of a series of recently discovered Mayan cities, thanks to advancements in technology. We'll explore more about these cities shortly. What's particularly surprising is that Amun was encircled by wetlands, prompting its builders to establish the city on elevated terrain. Encompassing over 120 acres, equivalent to about 90 football fields, this monumental site likely served as a bustling social hub between 250 and 1000 CE. This revelation is indeed a game-changer. However, the uncovering of lost Mayan cities began back in the 19th century. Today, modern technologies like LiDAR imaging empower archaeologists to peer through the dense forest canopy, eliminating the need for perilous treks through the jungle, much like the one you embarked on earlier. LiDAR functions akin to an X-ray, projecting laser beams that detect signs of ancient ruins or constructions. According to space archaeologist Sarah Parcak, satellite imagery has become instrumental in revealing ancient cities across South America, Egypt, and beyond. Sarah dedicates her days to examining images for clues that point to where cities may have once thrived. More often than not, ruins are obscured by vegetation, soil, or sand, complicating their discovery. But with these incredible tools, scientists have also made monumental discoveries, including ancient Mayan causeways that spanned vast territories. Consider the scale of these roadways. One might expect to see such infrastructure in Portugal, England, or the United States. We're talking about roads measuring 130 feet in width, even painted white to guide travelers at night. Recently, archaeologists uncovered an extensive 110-mile network of these roads, believed to predate the first documented Mayan highways. These causeways, which sometimes traversed swampy terrain and were elevated in certain areas, are being dubbed the world's first superhighways. While there is no record of animal-powered vehicles, it's theorized that the Maya utilized these pathways to navigate a network of approximately 964 settlements. Constructed like an intricate spiderweb, this extensive system facilitated economic and social interactions among Mayan cities, challenging the prevailing notion that the Mayan pre-classic period, dating back to 2000 BCE, was characterized solely by small tribal communities. Just imagine the engineering prowess and labor force required to construct such expansive highways. Scientists believe these causeways were built similarly to the Mayan pyramids, employing a mixture of mud and quarry stone. Imagine stepping onto a pristine white highway, a marvel of ancient engineering. These causeways, much like the majestic pyramids constructed by the Mayans, were built with a blend of mud and quarry stone, layered with limestone to achieve their striking brightness. Fascinating, isn't it? But let's pause for a moment and delve deeper into the context of this remarkable civilization. The Mayans were one of the most significant pre-Columbian societies in the Americas, thriving long before European contact. At its zenith, experts believe the Mayan civilization boasted over 40 cities, housing millions of inhabitants. That's quite a crowd. Their territory stretched across Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, Guatemala, and Belize, thriving primarily on agriculture. However, the Yucatan's challenging landscape meant that cultivating crops was no small feat. To overcome this, the Mayans engineered intricate irrigation systems throughout their cities. They constructed ceremonial structures, pyramids, and expansive plazas. While they were indeed masters of pyramid construction, the Mayans also had a profound understanding of astronomy. Utilizing their ancient technology, they could accurately forecast the positions of planets like Venus and Mars, as well as predict eclipses with remarkable precision. If you've ever marveled at ancient Mayan cities, Tikal is a prime example. Nestled in the heart of the Guatemalan jungle, Tikal is believed to have been the capital of a powerful Mayan kingdom. At its peak, it was as significant as contemporary cities like London or New York. The city is adorned with a series of complex monuments, including the North Acropolis, one of Tikal's oldest structures. Erected around 350 BCE, it served as a resting place for kings and chiefs, with monuments towering up to 200 feet high. In its heyday, the step pyramids were beautifully painted in vibrant red hues, a color the Mayans adored. Today, however, only the limestone remains. Then we have Chichen Itza, home to one of the best-preserved pyramids on the planet. Situated in Mexico's Yucatan state, this Mayan city is over 1,500 years old and once supported a thriving population of 35,000 people. Spanning 4 square miles, its centerpiece is El Castillo, an awe-inspiring step pyramid soaring 80 feet above the ground. This remarkable structure features 91 steps on each of its 4 sides, including the upper platform, totaling 365 steps, mirroring the days of the solar year. It's clear that the Mayans were a remarkable civilization, but the question remains, what led to their mysterious decline? Despite their grandeur, there's a surprising scarcity of evidence explaining the downfall of this once great empire. What were the factors behind their demise? Was it a devastating drought? In 2017, new research began to shed light on this enigma, revealing intriguing insights. Scientists examined radiocarbon data from ceramics and archaeological sites near Cebol, southwest of Tikal. Their findings suggest that rather than a sudden collapse, the Mayan civilization likely experienced waves of social instability and political turmoil. These crises are thought to have weakened city centers and triggered the dispersal of the Mayan population. Pinpointing the exact causes remains a challenge, however. But wait, recent discoveries are illuminating our understanding of humanity's past, not just concerning the Mayans but also other forgotten civilizations in South America. A groundbreaking find in Brazil, using satellite imaging technology, has left researchers astonished. Images captured near the Xingu River in the Amazon suggest that vast cities, home to millions, may have thrived deep within the jungle long before modern civilization took root. If that doesn't leave you in awe, I don't know what will. Moreover, satellite imagery has revealed a network of trenches dating back to 200–1200 CE in the Bolivian Amazon. These findings indicate settlements that could have supported around 60,000 people right amidst the dense forest. When researchers from the University of Florida ventured to the site to investigate the satellite data, they were astounded to discover several mounds accompanied by ditches and geoglyphs. Archaeologists also unearthed remnants of meticulously constructed walls surrounding plazas, echoing the architectural style of the ancient Mayans. Now let's shift gears for a moment. Can you effortlessly check today's date on your smartphone? It's a breeze. But was it always this straightforward for our ancestors? Did they even grasp the concept of a year made up of 365 days? The answer is a bit complicated. The Mayans did have calendars with cycles resembling what we consider a year, but their time cycles were much longer, spanning 19 days. And this is where the intrigue truly begins. The enigmatic Mayan calendar. Unlocking secrets of time. Did you ever wonder about the Mayan calendar and its relationship to the 365-day year we know today? The answer is both yes and no. While the Mayan civilization did possess a calendar system, their cycles were vastly different. Specifically, they operated on an intricate cycle of 8/19 days. But this is merely the beginning of the enigma. What does this cycle compare to? When does this calendar truly begin? And when does it conclude? For decades, scientists wrestled with these questions. It wasn't until the 1940s that researchers began to unravel the complex structure of the Mayan calendar. Recently, two American scholars, John Linden and Victoria Bricker, emerged with a groundbreaking solution. So, what set their approach apart from those before them? By broadening their perspective, this dynamic duo expanded the calendar's scope from a mere 8/19 days to an astonishing 45 years. An increase of 20-fold. This fresh approach revealed a pattern that had previously eluded many. This was a significant breakthrough because the Maya had a unique way of marking time. Forget the straightforward Arabic numerals we use today. The Mayans relied on glyphs, small images that conveyed meaning. Think of them like the icons on your computer desktop or universal symbols. For instance, when you see a dot with 3 curved lines above it, you instantly recognize that a Wi-Fi network is available. Similarly, the Mayan calendar employed glyphs to represent animals and natural events, such as jaguars and eagles. Each glyph signified a single day, and this cycle repeated 4 times, leading us to the crucial 8 and 19 multiplied by 4. Let's refer to these 4 cycles as blocks. Each block was adorned with distinct colors. Researchers initially believed these colors corresponded to the 4 cardinal directions: red for east, white for north, black for west, and yellow for south. However, the 1980s brought unexpected revelations. It turned out that the colors were actually linked to the sun's position in the sky. Shockingly, yellow signified the zenith, the sun's highest point, while white represented the nadir, its lowest point. This discovery showcased just how advanced the ancient Maya were in their astronomical understanding. One remarkable example of their astronomical prowess can be seen in Chichen Itza, a principal Mayan city located on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Here, an impressive step pyramid stands dedicated to the feathered serpent deity, perfectly aligned to astronomical events. Twice a year, during the equinoxes of March and September, a spectacular phenomenon occurs. These equinoxes represent the moments when the sun shines directly over the equator, creating equal lengths of day and night. As sunlight strikes the pyramid, it first illuminates the serpent head sculpture at the base, gradually ascending the 91 steps, creating the illusion of a serpent descending the structure. Even today, crowds gather to witness this mesmerizing event, which must have been even more awe-inspiring during the pyramid's completion around 105-0300 CE. Have you ever heard of a synodic period? If not, you're not alone. However, Mayan astronomers were well acquainted with this concept. A synodic period refers to the duration it takes for a celestial body to complete a full orbit. For instance, the time between 2 consecutive full moons is roughly 30 days. The Maya meticulously tracked the synodic periods of all planets, from Venus to Saturn, diligently recording nearly all celestial bodies. But what does this have to do with their calendar? The American researchers uncovered the connection. Let's consider Mercury, the planet closest to the Sun, with a synodic period of 117 days. When you multiply that by 7, what do you get? Exactly 8 and 19. That's right. 117 multiplied by 7 equals 819. Is this merely a coincidence? Absolutely not. The synodic periods of other planets also align with the intriguing figure of August 19th. However, this connection wasn't visible within a single Mayan cycle. Scientists had to broaden their scope multiple times to uncover the pattern. The reason it took so long to decipher the code was due to a narrow focus on individual planets. The real trick was in aggregating the Mayan calculations for all celestial bodies and seeing the larger picture. Now, let's rewind to the year 2012. Do you remember the buzz about the world supposedly ending on December 21st? Thankfully, that was a false alarm. But what sparked this widespread panic? You guessed it, the Mayan calendar. The ancient civilization's calendar was based on extensive periods that involved complex mathematical calculations. The year 2012 simply marked the conclusion of one of their cycles, known as the long count. This period parallels our own year. For the Maya, 2012 was akin to our December 31st, a mere end to a cycle in their timekeeping system. So, there was no need for alarm. While New Year's Eve celebrations might get a bit rowdy, the world doesn't come to an end on January 1st. The Maya indeed stretched more than just their calendar. They expanded our understanding of time itself. Did you know that the ancient Maya had a remarkable grasp of time? While those New Year's Eve parties might get a little rambunctious, rest assured, the world does not come to an end on January 1st. But the Maya's ingenuity didn't stop at their calendars. They were pioneers in rubber production, creating various grades of rubber a staggering 3,000 years before the well-known American inventor, Charles Goodyear. By tapping into the milky latex of the rubber tree, they transformed this natural substance into a versatile material. Interestingly, the Maya weren't alone in this venture. Their neighbors, the Aztecs and other cultures, also dabbled in rubber crafting. What did they do with this incredible material, you ask? Well, they certainly didn't need it for car tires. Instead, they fashioned comfortable sandals perfect for beach outings. Spanish explorers documented the rubber-soled footwear worn by the natives. But alas, none of these original pieces have yet been found. A discovery that would indeed be monumental for archaeology. The Maya had a playful side when it came to rubber, too. Researchers speculate they crafted balls from latex that bounced impressively, ranging in size from a softball to a soccer ball. Imagine a typical Mayan ball game, known as pits. You might picture basketball, but it was quite different. The hoops were set high on walls, towering at 23 feet, more than double the NBA standard of 10 feet. And the orientation of the hoops? Well, that was turned upside down compared to what we know today. Now, let's dive into a sweeter aspect of Mayan life. Did you know they were fond of chocolate? In fact, the term chocolate likely derives from their word sol, which meant bitter water. This might make sense, considering the Mayans didn't consume chocolate in the solid form we're familiar with today. They drank it. By crushing cocoa beans, they created delicious beverages, often enhancing them with spices. How about a spicy chocolate drink with stew, peppers, and cornmeal? It's possible this concoction was quite delightful. Cocoa beans held a sacred status and even served as currency, allowing all social classes to savor the chocolate experience. Imagine a world where free chocolate was available for everyone. A treat that still sounds appealing today. But where did the Mayans source clean water for their cocoa beverages? They ingeniously developed the oldest known filtration system in the Western Hemisphere, utilizing zeolites, minerals rich in aluminum and silicone compounds. Surprisingly, modern air and water purifiers still rely on this material. Once again, Mayan technology proves its brilliance. Meanwhile, in Europe, Roger Bacon wouldn't introduce a sand filtration system until 1627, about 1,800 years later. What about regions devoid of rivers, lakes, or springs? The Mayan engineers had that covered, too. They harvested rainwater by carving large reservoirs into the limestone bedrock. These underground chambers were coated with a waterproof material, and small channels were designed to collect water from the surrounding hills. Scientists estimate that a single reservoir could hold an impressive average of 10,000 gallons of rainwater, enough to fill 55 modern hot tubs. Now, a lot transpired in the first millennium CE. We're talking about 1,000 years of human history. You might recall from school that this was the era of the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, a time of transition into the tumultuous Middle Ages. Interestingly, it's also believed to be the peak of Mayan civilization in Mesoamerica. Thanks to advanced technological discoveries, we're now able to view history from a fresh perspective. Recent archaeological findings suggest that the Mayan civilization may have begun much earlier than initially thought, demonstrating that their society was anything but simple from the outset. Curious to delve deeper? You'll need to venture into the thick Guatemalan rainforests. Are you ready for an adventure? These rainforests are dense and challenging to navigate. If you were an archaeologist, you might find them quite intimidating as well. This difficulty in access has contributed to the long-standing mystery surrounding the truth about the Maya. But take a moment to consider this. You might expect to encounter ruins like these in places such as Portugal, England, or the United States. We're talking about 130-foot wide roads, painted white to guide travelers during the night. For perspective, these roads span about half the size of an American football field. Impressive, right? Recently, scientists unearthed a 110-mile network of such roads, which they believe predates the first known Mayan ruins. These roadways, some of which traversed swampy ground and were elevated at times, are now being referred to as the world's first superhighways. Although there's no record of animal-powered vehicles, it's believed that the Maya used these thoroughfares to connect a sprawling network of possibly 964 settlements. An intricate web of civilization. The secrets of the ancient Maya. A journey through time. Did you know that the ancient Maya might have utilized animal-powered vehicles to navigate a sophisticated network of nearly 964 settlements? Imagine a vast, intricate web of pathways, functioning not just as routes but as vital arteries for economic and social interaction. This revelation challenges the long-standing belief that the Mayan pre-classic period, spanning from 1000 to 350 BCE, was solely characterized by small, isolated tribal communities. Consider the incredible engineering skills and labor force required to construct such extensive causeways. Research indicates that these impressive roadways were constructed similarly to the majestic pyramids for which the Maya are well known. If you're curious about these monumental structures, don't worry, we'll delve into them shortly. For now, let's explore how these ancient roads were built. Scientists believe they were made from a combination of mud and quarry stone, layered with limestone to enhance durability. This groundbreaking knowledge has only emerged thanks to a revolutionary technology called LiDAR imaging. Have you ever thought about how sonar technology helps us map the ocean floor? LiDAR operates on a similar principle, but instead of using sound waves, it employs laser systems. This mapping technique allows researchers to peer through dense forest canopies as if they possessed X-ray vision. This discovery is truly a game-changer. Since the mid-20th century, the ruins of lost Mayan cities like Tikal, Palenque, and Uxmal have been unearthed, revealing the grandeur of this civilization. Now, let's take a step back to understand the broader context. The Maya were one of the largest pre-Columbian civilizations in the Americas. At its peak, experts estimate that the Maya civilization encompassed over 40 cities, home to millions of inhabitants. An astonishing number. Their realms stretched across Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, Guatemala, and Belize, with agriculture being the cornerstone of their sustenance. Interestingly, the Yucatan Peninsula posed significant challenges for farming. To overcome this, the Maya developed intricate irrigation systems in many of their urban centers. They erected a variety of ceremonial structures, pyramids, plazas, and even ball courts. While the Maya are famously known for their pyramid construction, they also excelled in astronomy. With their ancient tools, they accurately calculated the positions of planets like Venus and Mars, and even predicted solar and lunar eclipses. Now, let's dive deeper into some remarkable sites. Tikal, hidden in the heart of the Guatemalan jungle, is believed to have been the capital of the ancient Maya Empire. At its zenith, Tikal rivaled modern-day cities like London or New York in significance. This sprawling site boasts an impressive 12,000 structures. Among these, the North Acropolis stands out as the oldest complex, constructed purely by human hands around 350 BCE. It served as a sacred burial site for kings and chiefs, with towering monuments reaching heights of up to 200 feet. Back then, the step pyramids were adorned with vibrant red paint, Maya's favorite hue, though today, only the limestone remains visible. As we've noted, the Maya civilization expanded across various regions. It's intriguing to realize that Chichen Itza, another iconic site, is a mere 10-hour drive from Tikal in today's terms. There's no rivalry between the two. They simply functioned as different urban hubs, much like New York and Los Angeles. Chichen Itza is home to one of the best-preserved pyramids in the world, dating back over 1,500 years. At its peak, it housed around 35,000 residents and covered an area of 4 square miles. The centerpiece of this city is El Castillo, a magnificent step pyramid soaring 80 feet into the air. What's particularly fascinating is its 91 steps on each of its 4 sides, totaling 365 steps, the exact number of days in a solar year. Quite thought-provoking, isn't it? Now, behold the lost city of Palenque, another significant Maya site. It's believed to have supported a population of over 6,000 at its height. Archaeologists have made some extraordinary discoveries here, evoking images of Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider. Among the structures in Palenque lies the final resting place of the enigmatic Red Queen, thought to be the grandmother of the last Maya king. In her honor, an impressive monument was constructed to house her remains. The excitement surrounding the discovery of her tomb was palpable when archaeologists uncovered it in 1994. As they began to excavate, they stumbled upon a room with a concealed door. Upon opening it, they found an 8-foot-long corridor leading to the queen's chamber, where the mummy of the queen herself awaited them. The Maya civilization, filled with mysteries and innovations, continues to captivate our imagination and challenge our understanding of ancient societies. Imagine entering a room with a concealed door. As you push it open, you step into an 8-foot-long corridor. At the corridor's end lies the queen's chamber, where the mummified body of the queen herself awaits. Surrounding her are her exquisite pearls, jade shells, and precious gemstones. However, as the research team delves into their findings, they come across something peculiar. The room is suffused with a red powder. While researchers are aware that the color red held significant meaning for the Mayan civilization, the presence of this mysterious substance raises questions. They decided to take a sample for further examination, ultimately discovering it to be cinnabar, a hazardous mineral that can inflict serious health issues when inhaled. The team theorized that this could very well serve as a trap for anyone daring enough to plunder her treasures. Talk about a curse, right? A lingering puzzle has always plagued researchers. What led to the decline of this once mighty empire? Could it have been a devastating drought? A rampant disease? Recent research from 2017 began to illuminate this mystery. Scientists utilized data from a site known as Seaball, located southwest of Tikal, analyzing radiocarbon data extracted from ceramics and archaeological digs. Their findings suggest that rather than experiencing a sudden collapse, the Maya likely faced waves of social upheaval and political turmoil. These crises are believed to have eroded the heart of Mayan city centers, ultimately triggering the dispersal of their population. So, what's your perspective on how this story unfolds? Now, picture this. A colossal flying island hovering just above your head. In today's AI era, you might dismiss it as nothing more than a digital illusion, but let me assure you, it's all too real. And yes, you can actually visit it. This extraordinary site may even hold the key to the El Dorado secret. Welcome to Roraima, which, interestingly enough, is not an island at all, but a mountain. The illusion of it floating arises from various factors, primarily due to its flat-top structure. Lacking a conventional peak, it appears level, while dense clouds blend seamlessly into the sky, thus creating this captivating optical illusion. Despite the advancements in satellite imaging and the rise of affordable air travel, there remain few places on Earth that still feel genuinely unexplored. Mount Roraima is one such locale. This ancient formation has existed for nearly 2 billion years, far older than the dinosaurs, which made their appearance around 240 million years ago. Some scientists speculate that this region was once part of the supercontinent known as Gondwana, and it didn't start as a mountain. As the supercontinent fragmented, erosion sculpted this magnificent tabletop mountain. Yet, what truly fascinates about Roraima is not just its age, but rather its near-pristine condition. The late exploration of this area in South America has allowed it to remain relatively untouched. Remarkably, new species of flora and fauna continue to be discovered here each year. Though relatively modest in height at 9,220 feet, Roraima is still impressive. For context, cities exist at higher altitudes, such as La Paz in Bolivia, which sits at 11,940 feet. Thus, it's conceivable that people could inhabit the region surrounding Mount Roraima, despite its remote location. However, there's a twist. The Pemen people, the original inhabitants of this region, possess a rich tapestry of myths. Their mythology speaks of deities residing on the tepuis, flat-topped mountains found in the grasslands. These mountains are revered as sacred spaces, off-limits to the living, as they are believed to be the homes of ancestral spirits known as Mirari. While traditions may discourage habitation in this area, some sources suggest that local communities still reside there. Yet, the challenges faced by these modern dwellers extend beyond spiritual beliefs to encompass limited job opportunities. Nevertheless, guided tours do exist for those eager to explore this mesmerizing landscape. So, what can you expect to see if you dare to visit this extraordinary place? At the foot of the mountain lies an evergreen rainforest, where trees tower between 82 to 150 feet, with some reaching heights of up to 200 feet. Among them are species that can only be found in this unique environment, including orchids as large as medium-sized trees. Given the remoteness of this area, the flora and fauna have likely taken a divergent evolutionary path compared to the rest of the planet. And as you continue your adventure, you may just stumble upon a waterfall at the base of Roraima, a natural wonder that has been flowing for millions of years. The mysterious journey to Roraima, a tale of exploration and adventure. Have you ever imagined setting foot on a land that seems like a glimpse into a forgotten world? Nestled among the towering tepuis, Roraima stands as a testament to nature's grandeur, offering breathtaking views that have captivated explorers for centuries. Interestingly, did you know that this magnificent site has a waterfall at its base that has been flowing for millions of years? It's a surprising fact that there are no rivers at the summit of Roraima. Instead, rainwater seeps through the porous rocks, creating a stunning spectacle. The combination of lush greenery and dramatic cliffs gives Roraima an otherworldly appearance. It's no wonder that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle drew inspiration from these majestic tabletop mountains when penning his classic novel, The Lost World. Yes, his fame wasn't limited to Sherlock Holmes. Among the numerous tepuis, Roraima is known for being the most accessible. While there are other similar formations, they are far less welcoming to trekkers. However, reaching Roraima is still a challenging endeavor, even with modern technology at our disposal. So, how did this remarkable place come to be discovered? The story is intriguing, and it begins in the 16th century with a notable figure named Sir Walter Raleigh. Picture him in a lavish collar and an impressive mustache. He was a significant player during the Elizabethan era. In 1594, he caught wind of tales regarding a magnificent golden city near the Caroni River. This notion took root in his mind, perhaps serving as a tantalizing prospect for riches. The following year, Raleigh embarked on an expedition that would take him through what is now Guyana and eastern Venezuela. During this journey, he meticulously documented his encounter with Mount Roraima. On March 22, 1595, an English fleet led by Raleigh anchored off the coast of Trinidad. Seeking goodwill, Raleigh attempted to charm the Spanish settlers through trade and even invited them aboard his ships for some entertainment. After enjoying a few drinks, the Spaniards revealed valuable information about the region, including whispers of hidden treasures and geographical insights about Guyana. Fast forward to April 7th, when Raleigh executed a surprise attack on the town of San Jose, capturing a key informant. After extracting crucial information, Raleigh declared his intent to venture into Guyana in search of the legendary Golden City. Since his ships couldn't navigate the narrow channels of the Orinoco Delta, Raleigh tasked his carpenters with modifying one vessel, likely a galley, to draw only 5 feet of water. This ship could accommodate 60 men, while another 40 were distributed across smaller boats. Navigating through the delta proved to be a slow and arduous task as they found themselves ensnared in what Raleigh described as a labyrinth of rivers. Ultimately, they made their way to the Caño Manamo and then into the main Orinoco River. As they traveled further upstream, where the Orinoco meets the Caroni, Raleigh encountered a native chief named Topiawari. Their meeting was fortuitous, as Topiawari shared that his people had been displaced from inland Guyana by a fierce tribe from the west. This revelation added fuel to the existing belief shared by both the Spaniards and Raleigh that El Dorado was a refuge for runaway Incas from Peru. Topiawari also hinted at the wealth of the invading tribe, claiming that their nearest town, just a 4-day trek south, was the source of gold plates widely traded in the region. However, he suggested that even greater treasures lay deeper within the land. Raleigh pressed on to the mouth of the Caroni, but strong currents thwarted any further advancement. He dispatched 2 scouting parties on land while leading a third himself. They uncovered a few shiny stones, but most turned out to be worthless. They learned of a massive lake about 40 miles wide at the head of the Caroni, rumored to be filled with alluvial gold. Faced with rising waters and limited options, Raleigh had to abandon the expedition, hoping to return when conditions were more favorable. It wasn't until 1616, more than 20 years later, that Raleigh received the green light from King James I for a second attempt in Guyana. He assured the king that he could retrieve substantial gold from a mine near the Caroni, which he had heard about during his previous expedition. James specifically instructed him to avoid conflict with the Spanish, who still held sway over the Orinoco area. Upon arriving in South America, Raleigh remained aboard his ship while sending Lawrence Chemis and a crew to search for the mine. For reasons that remain unclear, Chemis ended up attacking the Spanish town of Santo Tomé, leading to the tragic death of Raleigh's son, during the skirmish. Unable to locate the mine, the crew returned to the ship, and upon facing Raleigh's wrath, Chem took his own life in despair. Back in England,